Honor and justice. Number 15.
How severely do you judge yourself?
I think I'm quite demanding on myself, which is probably part of the drive. Number 14.
How much interest do you take in world events?
I think it's very important as the world seems to shrink that we get a sense of how what we do in our country affects many millions of people in other countries. And for any musician that spends their life traveling, and particularly, you know, when we were doing the Human Rights Now tour, which we went to South America, Central America, Africa, and India, and suddenly these people aren't just newsprint, they're real people, and you're meeting them and you're finding out about family members that have been killed or the very real problems that they're facing. And it's very hard just to walk away and say, you know, this is where I come from and I just function in this little place. Number 6.
What causes would you actually fight for?
Well, I believe in non-violence. I think maybe that's the cause I fight for. No, I don't know. I think it's very hard if you look at some situations, such as in Central America or South Africa, where people don't have any rights at all. And particularly, you know, when they see those around them destroyed, abused, exploited, I think it's quite difficult then to assume a position of non-violence. And I think I might react in that way or change my views if I was actually living in that society. So maybe, you know, non-violence is a luxury that we can afford. But I hope not. 13.
How good a liar are you?
Not very good. And those that know me well can see right through me. Number 5.
How easy do you find it to admit to mistakes?
Quite easy. I think it's very important too. I mean, you know, I think sometimes I'm proud of my mistakes if they're done with conviction. 4.
Have you ever been arrested?
Yeah, I was arrested as a Bader Meinhof terrorist in Switzerland. We were arriving late for this gig in France, so we stopped at a phone box outside a bank and called up England to say that, you know, we'd be a little late. 3 local citizens apparently rang up the police and said that the bank is being held up by terrorists, because some of us were, I was wearing a scarf to protect my voice, and there was the wife of one of the musicians in sort of military fatigues, and some of the other guys in shades. And so, you know, maybe to the fine, upstanding citizens of St. Gallen, we looked like a strange bunch, but the police came and they were very scared of us. So they had these machine guns and were sort of shaking as they were pointing them. You know, it's almost like we were superhuman. And the road manager had picked up the cash from the gig, and so he had a briefcase full of different currencies. So they were convinced that was evidence that we were terrorists. And it took us about 8 hours, for which we had to do an a cappella version of one of the songs, all of us singing in this jail cell, to try and convince the Swiss that we were musicians, not terrorists. Enough of that one. 11.
What do you think is the greatest cause of misery in the world?
The inability to understand someone else's point of view, someone else's position. 3.
How do you justify your lifestyle?
I don't feel I have to justify my lifestyle.
Thank you for playing Star Test.
My pleasure.
Have you learned anything about yourself?
I prefer talking to people and TV screens.
Who would you like to see in the Star Test chair?
Our fearless leader. Maybe some of the old Chinese men who just massacred their children.
You are now invited to select 5 characteristics from the on-screen menu which you feel best illustrate your personality.
I like wicked, open, creative, humorous, kind.
Goodbye.
Bye.